What's going on, folks? Zeke here with an amazing open source DIY project build banger of a video. The reason why you should be excited is, one, this is an open source platform, meaning it is not a commercial device. As you can see, we got a new mic. Now, this mic isn't new to the Zeke household. This is actually Mrs. Zeke's old podcast mic that she donated to the channel. Now, anytime we get new equipment for the production side of things, it's super exciting because I know for a fact that with this mic,
I sound like Morgan Freeman.
Now I am ready to narrate the heck out of this amazing open source project that we have for you today. Now, the question that we need to ask in this video is, what if you don't have $300? What if you want to build something for yourself? Well, the RaspyJack is the project for you. Now, let's go ahead and head over to their GitHub and we can read and learn a little bit more about this amazing project. All right, so here we are at the RaspyJack GitHub. Quick disclaimer, RaspyJack is for authorized security testing, research, and education only. Now, this is my own device. I use it on my own devices, on my own home lab network, and I advise you to strongly do the same. Never, ever use your pen testing devices on someone else's device or their networks. You can get into a huge amount of trouble. So here we are at the RaspyJack GitHub. Let's go ahead and give a shout out to the contributors. Good sir, I cannot even attempt to try to pronounce your name, but I appreciate you and all your hard work for what you have done for the community. Shout out to, I want to say the other one, big shout out to dagnazty and mouse. Now, always good people, leave a star for your contributors and developers. They worked really hard so that we can have this for ourselves. Now, what the RaspyJack includes, it is a LCD driven handheld style interface using the Waveshare 1.44 inch hat. We have a payload of categories that we will break into once we set this thing up. We got loot collection browsing, web UI remote control dashboard, payload IDE, responder, DNS spoof, tooling integration. We've got Wi-Fi utilities with optional attack flows, compatible with the USB dongle, which we do have. So we have everything. That's a little bit about what the RaspyJack is. Now, like I said, the reason why you would build something like this, why you would take on this project, one, you just want to, like me, or two, you don't have the money for commercial devices, $300 just lying around. So you can spend a little bit less money with something that is open source, and you can kind of customize it yourself as long as you increase your, I guess, do-how knowledge on something like this using the Linux framework and how wireless networks work. Now, let's go ahead and go to the tech mat and put this thing together. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. For the computer behind the operation, we have the Raspberry Pi 2W. If you don't want to solder on your own headers, I suggest buying the Raspberry Pi 2WH, but I want the practice and I want to learn how to do it. Moving forward, we got a micro SD card and a micro SD card reader. Now, this is going to be utilized with Pi Imager. We're going to write the OS onto our micro SD card using the micro SD card reader for our Raspberry Pi 2W. For extra wireless capabilities, we're going to be throwing on the TP-Link AC1300 Nano Wireless USB adapter. Now, as you can see, this is going to give us that dual band capability, and it's going to be a lot better than not running it with just the Raspberry Pi 2W. For power, we got the Raspberry Pi 3 Sugar. For the display, we have the Waveshare 1.44 inch LCD display hat. And then for connectivity, we have a Ethernet and USB hat also by Waveshare. Now, for the case, I'm not sure if I'm going to go blue or gray or mix match. Actually, the gray on blue doesn't look bad. But I think for simplicity and being sleek, we should go gray. Although the blue is nice. Oh man, decisions. Anyways. All right, so the last time I soldered anything was 2022, and that was for a mechanical keyboard. All right, so that wasn't that bad. Alright, so once we SSH to our hardware stack, we can also pull up a browser for the RaspyJack GitHub. As you can see, the install commands are fairly simple, and once you get through that, all you have to do is finish your stack, boot your device, and Bob's your uncle. So I'll go ahead and let this play, and I'll meet you guys back at the tech mat to finish our hardware stack. Alright folks, we are practically there. Before we finish our hardware stack, we want to make sure that it's completely powered off. Alright, pro tip. Slide in the Pi sugar with the Pi 2W first, and then work the mini stack with the 2 buttons. Now, you might need some pliers to kind of position it a little bit in place, but it beats shoving that whole thing in here and messing with those buttons. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now, for the top cover, what we're going to do is press in on the tabs so that they lock into place and that we're not forcing it. All right, and there you have it, our RaspyJack. Dude, that looks really good. Let's go ahead and throw the SD card in. All right, we're gonna throw in our wireless adapter and the jumper. All right, and with it fully assembled, we can go ahead and boot. All right, there we go. There we go. Dude, that looks sick. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. That looks amazing. All right. Let's go ahead and put this down. Let's do some comparisons, and I'll get back to you guys. All right, so granted, these are 2 different platforms, but doing a quick boot up time test, the RaspyJack came in at 1 minute and 5 seconds, whereas the pager, which I know we all feel, came in at a whopping 3 minutes and 35 seconds. And also, look at the I/O that we have. You don't get this on other devices, you know what I mean? And look at how small and compact the footprint of this device is. We got scan nmap, reverse shell, responder, DNS spoofing, network info, Wi-Fi manager, war driving. All in all, this is a pretty nifty device, and I think you guys should check it out. Let me know if you do in the comment section below, but my name's Zeke, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.